Islands were fringed with reeds I would say, sort of up to 15 yards out from a lot of the islands. We did occasionally land on islands to explore, and you literally had to roll through several metres of reeds before you could actually get out of the boat. And these, well, you are having a programme of reinstalling them, I gather.
So have you noticed a change in the volume of reeds?
Oh yes, yes, a big change. Yes, most definitely. Yes, everywhere was fringed with reeds in the sort of 40s to the 60s, and an awful lot have disappeared. These reed beds were important because when you look at a reed bed, you can see that the reeds are basically made up of carbon, nitrogen and phosphorus. Carbon, of course, comes from the air through photosynthesis, but the nitrogen and phosphorus comes out of the water, so the reed beds are acting as like a kidneys of the lake, taking out all the nutrients from the lake constantly, and this is why the water was very clear, with algae also helping to take out some of the nutrients as well. The reed beds were important because they formed a very nice refuge for a lot of aquatic insects, such as the mayfly, which in spite of its name, it comes out mostly in June and July around here. And this attracted a lot of trout. So there were very good areas for fishing, fly fishing around the islands, especially next to the reed beds in the summer. All that has changed, of course, now.
With the reed beds, have you noticed any changes?
Yes, remarkable changes with them disappearing. Again, I'm not quite sure what's happening, but we did go through a spell where, when we had the no limit on speed on the lake, it was probably not the bigger boats, although others would probably perhaps argue with me, but some of the smaller boats which had much more of a wash, jet skis and things like that, which were turning into some of the small bays and washing out, and the wash from those would be dislodging. And I think probably it could be said that probably some of those was a cause of some of that. It said also that geese browsing is a cause.
The really one big question is, why have the reed beds decreased in numbers? At first I thought it might be the increased boat traffic, especially the tourist boats, but this wouldn't explain why they've gone in the back bay of Windermere, Ferry House in Windermere. There were big stands of reed beds in that back bay behind Ferry House. They've gone now, and that wouldn't be explained by boat traffic. The other obvious thing that has changed is the bird population. There was a wildfowling club in the south basin of Windermere used to keep the ducks down by shooting them. They were stopped by the rule that somebody found that Windermere is a public highway and you're not allowed to fire a gun on a public highway. So this was the last time birds on Windermere were culled regularly.
So what year was that?
It was just after I came, so it'd be probably the late 60s, I would think. I don't know the exact year, but it was probably the late 60s, I would guess 67, 68.